Oh.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same.
Test 1, 2.
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
Test 1, 2.
Kingdom will perish alongside you. By my hand.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this? Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet,
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
And that's enough of him. Alrighty. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to this damn game. So, yeah. I swallowed a humble pill and went grinding. Even on easy mode, grinding was kind of a chore to do. But, oh boy. Some of the monsters that I wound up fighting against on normal were still kind of a challenge just without that extra press turn. They did, though I did notice that they did less damage. So there was damage scaling in this game.
Here.
The Origin, I love getting killed. Pretty much. Alright, so yeah. I also took a little bit of advice from online about a certain way to cheese this first boss. And I'm gonna put that plan into action right now. Now, just for the record, this is the last possible day. So I cannot grind any further. If I do, I would need some way to supplement my magic. Because if I end the day and go to sleep, the world ends. And I'll get a game over like typical Persona.
I'm sorry. Do you actually think you can stop me?
Yeah. Music is kind of loud compared to your voice. Oh, really? Hell, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Excuse that. Okay, there we go. I thought it sounded kind of loud on my headphones. So, there we go. I turned the music down about 50%. That should be a little bit better. Okay, then. Now, let's get to it.
Of course we can. I see now!
Madness ill becomes you.
You again. Wait.
Judgments mean nothing from a...
Perhaps I am unworthy of the royal scepter.
You'll find that hard to do from a dungeon, blackguard.
Unite! Rejoice, rats!
Alright, here we go. So I want to see if this works.
What destined kingdom?
For all the innocent lives you played for.
We don't stop him, there's no telling how much he'll destroy.
Yep.
Join with me!
Let's see how much damage this does. Requires all 3 press turns.
Let's do this! And thus I end
Oh my...
I've bodies to to spare.
What was that? Half of his life?
Control the dead?
They still hit so hard. So I could pretty much cheese the fight by just murdering him right now. And since I have full magic... What's up? What's up, Paolo, Justin? Oh boy, he's almost there. Okay. Still taking a ton of damage. There we go, fight's over. Now I don't have to stress about never being able to play the game properly.
Impossible! This can't be happening! Lord Luis!
I do not care. And honestly, if I dodged those couple of hits, I probably would have gotten an unscathed bonus from it.
I admit, it feels good to get stronger.
I shall strive to use this power wisely.
Finally, I can play the
You have
game.
desecrated the cathedral. You have plundered graves. You have taken innocent lives. Stand, fiend, and face your sentence.
Just notice, Hulkenberg has a little twitch in her right eye
Don't
when
kill
she's
him yet.
when
He
she's
needs to tell
angry.
us where Luis is.
You'll get nothing from me. Just end it and be done.
You know Luis won't return that loyalty. Once you outlive your usefulness, he'll cast you aside.
Lord Luis is everything to me. How could I expect the damned Clamar to understand what it's like? You must know. Surely an elder like you must know what it's like. To be an outcast. To be every fool's scapegoat. They call us lesser tribes. They loathe us. Their speeches of tribal harmony mean nothing when every day they cheat and abuse us. Do you think I didn't believe once that I never dared to hope my efforts made me equal? The lessers are expendable. Send them to the fore, and they shall be our living shields. They doomed us, and laughed as we died.
But these atrocities make you no better than your oppressors.
You know, it's a curious thing. They say Magla is born from pain and negative emotions. Magic is a dangerous art, isn't it? I had thought to gather an unstoppable swell of Magla, but it doesn't matter anymore. Those lordly pigs can drown in their own dread.
Yeah, I get it. Looks like the theme seems to be a bunch of racial superiority. And yeah, the game is pretty good outside of those little hiccups that I had.
If we are to be ruled by a god, then let it be Lord Luis!
What did you just do?
This is everything I've been building my Magla for! A little early, perhaps. But now, you can experience my glorious day of calamity!
Hey! Tell us where Luis is!
Ah, my lord, Luis.
They should have just killed him, what the hell.
Damn it!
What's happening? This feels like... It's a human! The human lives!
There are terrified screams coming from below.
A human? Wait, is it that monstrosity Luis brought to the funeral? It wasn't dead?
No. That was Zorba's gift, wasn't it? Animation. Reanimation.
The gigantic humans wreaking havoc in Grand Tread. At this rate, Zora's scheme to unleash a dead calamity will come true.
Did he sacrifice his own life to... No. If that monster breaches the city...
We have to stop it at all costs.
The place is collapsing! Hurry!
Went out sounding gay AF. He did, but he certainly went out like a bastard. I need to put a stop to Zora, build a necromancer's plan, and prevent the rampaging human he unleashed. At this rate, all the Grand Triad will suffer from its great disaster. We made it to the bottom. That was one hell of a collapse. Zorba's spell particularly took the whole place down. A mess.
Look.
Our egress is straight ahead. It should lead to the Cathedral Palace. Brilliance! Stop that monster. At least I got a full health restore. That's nice.
I pledge.
Yep.
I'd see if
All well.
once we're outside, we're going straight for that monster.
On guard.
Alright, let's see how this goes. I'll change builds again if it goes wrong. But yeah, I just wanted that fight over and done with. I spent like a couple hours grinding and then I ran out of magic. So... oh my.
How can this be? Was this creature's rebirth Zorba's plan all along?
If it escapes, if it makes it to the city,
Hell?
It spotted us!
His Highness's home must still stand when he returns. I will end this here!
Another city in ruins. Never again. It dies or I do.
It's coming!
What kind of roar was that? Imagine doing 2 boss fights. Oh dear no.
It would be catastrophic if it breached the city. We must stop it!
But how are we supposed to kill something this huge?
Look there! That can be little else but the heart. Surely to strike there would give it pause.
But it's too high up for our weapons to reach. Do we use magic?
A viable plan. Yet surely if we can knock the creature down first, its heart will be close enough to strike with steel.
Then we bludgeon the torso. Knock the wind out of it. Hard to miss a target that size at least.
Start by attacking the body.
My god, what the hell am I looking at?
We stand together!
Out of all the crazy stuff I've seen in Persona, this is somehow work. No, legit, what am I staring
Now we
at?
can go for its heart.
I shall fight as the noble I am. Warrior!
Nah.
Hack and slash!
Lost its balance. Like, seriously, what in Mother Mary's hell am I looking at?
Show them our might!
I'm looking at something that's gonna die in the next couple of turns.
What's that? I think something's coming. Watch out!
What the hell am I looking at?
With blade in hand!
I'll take the risk. I gotta know if it'll be enough damage.
We'll combine our strengths.
Yes! Success!
Now.
Oh, yes, it... Where did that 4th press turn come from?
Warrior!
Oh, well, I'm not complaining. Wait, can I actually hit the heart?
Withdrawing.
Yes, I
Closing the
can.
distance. Let's make an end of it. We'll combine our strengths.
Okay, so I'm guessing 3 warriors is overpowered as hell. Oh, you do get unscathed bonuses for boss. Holy mother of God!
Not bad. if I say so myself.
Okay, then. My goodness.
I feel stronger.
I admit,
It feels good.
Ha! I have never known such heights.
Oh, you found new powers.
I've acquired a new power.
Atlas should have asked Dory to make another sexy woman.
Finally. It's over.
You have my sincerest thanks. You risked your life to protect the capital.
We barely protected anything. The royal capital's in chaos, and Grius was one of us. And now he's gone.
Well, on that comment about they should have made another sexy woman, and people actually kind of like Hulkenberg. Let's put it like that.
On the morning of the funeral, I promised Maria that we'd all be back that evening. Break bread together again. I fought with everything I had, but it doesn't erase the past. It's a hard lesson, but one so obvious. I only wish I'd learned it sooner. What can I begin to tell Maria?
It's not your fault, but there's no easy answer.
There's no easy answer.
I hate how powerless I am. I should never have made a promise I couldn't keep.
It's not like you knew.
Listen, Stroll.
Skywalker wills in the... Probably not.
Alcest made
Unless
his
people know
choice
he's killed
to
it.
live and die for his country. If not for him, His Highness would not be alive now. And I'd not have met you or learned the truth myself. He and everyone else that fell here did not die in vain. And you have not fought in vain either.
There! It's them!
Thank you so much. I thought I'd never see my family again. I'll never take my life for granted again. It's all thanks to you.
Oh, no, we didn't do much.
May the teachings guide and protect you. Closure.
So you're the ones who put a stop to that madman's scheme and killed the human besides. Now the soldiers might rest in peace. Seeing that there are others who can take those monsters down, it means we don't have to rely on Luis. It gives us hope. Thank you.
To think there were people watching us without our knowing. Hope, eh? Feels like it's been hard to come by lately.
'Tis a thing easily promised and hard won. But once you have it, it pushes you onward, so long as you let it.
Yes, you're right. It's a shame we couldn't get anything out of Zorba.
And we still need to kill Luis, or the prince's curse will never be lifted. If not even Grius could do it, what chance do we have?
What do you mean? Grius had it, but the king's spirit literally shackled him and stopped him mere inches from getting the job done. If that didn't happen, Grius would have killed him, and this whole game would have ended right there.
Do you recall, just before Luis would have been struck, he was shielded by some manner of magic?
Yeah, I'm surprised there were actually witnesses too. Usually this kind of heroism doesn't get noticed in games.
Are you saying it would happen again? That Luis would be impervious to our attack?
What? That's ridiculous!
Well, we'll get nowhere with idle guesses. To test the theory, we have to find him.
I'll see if my contacts in the Guard have any threads to pursue.
Whoa, that'd be great. The Knights are bound to have more reach than us. And we don't have much to go on otherwise.
But under the circumstances, I expect their forces to be in considerable disarray for a while yet. Don't expect too much.
I've my own matters to attend to. If I floundered this much against Zorba, I'll not stand a chance against Luis. We have to get stronger.
Well, until we've got a lead on Luis, let's make sure we use our time wisely. Okay?
Let's rest up for now.
Certainly. Rest is just as important as training, after all.
In any case, let's head back to the inn. And I want to check on Maria, too.
Your attention, please, ladies and gents. We've all seen the royal palace up in the sky, plus a massive magical rock, apparently. All very shocking. I'm positively staggered. Moving on.
Yeah, people will definitely simp for Luis.
The bit that gets me is all this talk of the next king. Word is they'll be chosen based on the people's will. Everyone gets a say. But right now, I suppose we ought to talk about all those other faces up on the rock, hadn't we?
Oh, I was wondering about those.
Now, the Sanctus Church has looked into it, and it seems like size matters. More public support, bigger face on the rock, etc. Looks like we've got Sanctifex Forden in the lead, and Count Luis hot on his trail.
Well, naturally Sanctifex Forden is at the top. The real surprise is how anyone else is that close behind him.
Oh, come off it, Count Luis. He's a man's man, a real pillar of strength.
Ugh, wake up, would you? Haven't you seen what's happened to the Grand Cathedral?
Hold your horses now, everyone. Just calm down. Won't do to just focus on the front runners, will it? There are many more pieces in play here. Take a look. Anyone who gets the people's support might be crowned. Anyone. Well, you could do it. Well, I could do it if I liked. Looks like we've quite a few new aspirants up there. All bright-eyed and ambitious monarchs to be. Had I a seat, I'd be on the edge of it.
Hold on, aren't you a town crier for the church? They're not going to like you going on about all these other faces.
Oh, please. The Sanctifex's lead isn't so fragile that I could jeopardize it. Besides, a good race would be some terrific entertainment, eh? Keep your eyes up and your ears open, ladies and gents. Albus Batlin, the crier, is going to have all the latest on these promising candidates.
Guess that's what passes for a newspaper these days. Or those days.
Welcome back. I've heard the news. You took down those dastards under Luis's command, did you?
News travels fast, I see.
Well, just the nature of the inn, isn't it? Information is our lifeblood. I hope this helps him rest in peace.
I will see his dreams fulfilled. I promise you that.
How's Maria holding up?
Still cooped up in her room. She's not eaten a thing.
The city sure isn't astir. I thought it might be news of defeating the human. But there's more to it than that.
Small wonder when any among the populace might be king. Candidates are coming out of the woodwork.
Speaking of which, I've actually heard another rumor. They say Sanctifex Forden's planning some sort of grand announcement. Word among the Sanctus Church is that it's bound to bring Luis out of hiding.
Really? That'd be great if it's true.
The announcement is supposedly on the 22nd. They'd not be talking about such an exact date if there weren't some truth to it.
We'd best wait before we plan our next move then. Might not have much of a choice, in truth.
What do you mean, wait? The 22nd is literally tomorrow. Also, no one cares it was Luis who brought the giant monster. Some people do, but clearly not enough care.
We have waited long enough to rule his land.
I got this guy looks like a silent monk from freaking Divinity Original Sin 2.
Scheming king. What sort of man has a contingency plan for his own death?
That face in the sky, is that really the king?
We didn't listen to some blasted rock. Name the new king under our authority and be done with it.
The populace would reject it outright. As it is so clearly born from the king's magic, they trust this decree as the king's own. That aside, when that assassin tried to claim Luis's head, I saw some strange magic foil his killing blow. Is that also the king's doing?
Is that not why we sent for that professed curse-breaker scholar or some such? Send her in, and let us hear her findings.
Man?
'Tis an honor, esteemed nobles. I am Rella Melanchorophus Cygnus, daughter of House Cygnus.
Why does she look like, Fig from Soul hackers.
Yes, all right, spare us the pleasantries. We want the facts, girl.
Oh, well, concerning the magic that seemed to save Count Luis's life, we've seen similar incidents in different places. It would seem this magic's purpose is to ensure that the coronation cannot be decided by force, only by the trust of the people. If those who have earned a measure of the people's trust are being shielded, it must be by the king's magic. At least, that is my belief.
So what? You're telling me that blasted Luis is invincible now? Damnation!
How distressing. Yet one wonders, is our risen king observing each individual conflict between his aspirants?
I cannot say how it's triggered. Only the king would know the exact conditions, and we obviously cannot simply ask. Though, I can say there is one certain means of bypassing it. A duel could overcome this sorcery.
So they can be killed, but not murdered. Certainly a petty distinction I could only expect from such a blind romanticist.
And, that is everything I know. At the moment, that is.
At this point, Luis's public support rivals our own. Disappointing, really, that so many would desire his vision of shepherd and livestock.
Beasts, the lot of them. A dog is happiest on its leash.
Oh my god! Law and Chaos alignments. Beautiful.
They seek a king with strength, do they? Then let us give them a display of our own power, with grace, nobility, and civility.
Well, at least now I know they're all gonna try to kill Will.
Assassins dying in the streets. The people locked in an inescapable power struggle. What was His Majesty thinking?
I mean, you don't have a circle of old men.
Disaster was averted.
You don't have a circle of old men and have them plotting something nice. No. His Majesty enjoys a little trolling.
Today's Forden's big announcement.
He was like, I know someone's gonna kill me, so I'm just gonna make sure they can't usurp the throne. Yeah, that's I agree with that.
Wonder what he's planning. I guess the church has to have some reaction to all that stuff the king said.
Whatever it is, Luis won't be able to just ignore it. This might be a day that goes down in history.
Ladies and gents, lend me your ears. Sanctifex Forden has spoken. The giant face in the sky, the massive rocks appearing throughout the land, and the mysterious voice claiming to be the past king. The Sanctus Church has officially recognized these happenings as the will of His Royal Majesty.
So it really is His Majesty?
And so, as His Majesty has decreed, whoever has gained the greatest trust of the people by the day of decision shall be our new king. This is a historic moment, good citizens. It's revolutionary. It's unprecedented. No matter who you are, you can take the throne.
That sounds very hopeful, except some of these people in this audience, as in the audience in the game, are literal nobodies. We can't even see their faces. What makes you think they could take the throne? You have a higher chance of doing it.
Anyone?
Even me?
No, because we can't see your face. You're faceless.
If, and this is a big if, you are the person that all our people trust most in their hearts.
Maybe you could be king yourself, eh? You're popular enough.
Me? In charge? Well, that's the last thing this country needs. Right, let's review what we know, shall we? First, the new faces that have appeared on the rock. It shows us who's foremost in the running. We've worked out that much. The top 3 of the lot are also shown in the sky. Suppose that way you can see their inspiring faces anytime, anywhere.
Hold on. How's us common folk supposed to stand a chance against all these upper crusters?
And there you go.
Say you do become popular. With your face clear for all to see, surely that'd make you a prime target for assassination.
Yeah, no, I'm glad too. It was just a matter of actually sticking my nose out and trying something different. And I'm hoping my build video could attract a few more, because I've been working pretty hard on that.
Not quite, friend. Not quite. A valid concern, but one His Majesty prepared for. Popular aspirants, at least those who make it onto the rock, are protected by royal magic. Assassinations off the table. Magic chains will spring to life and bind anyone who tries. I saw it happen with my own eyes to Count Luis's sorry assailant.
Damn.
So, literally anyone could be king? Even a pauper? Or a slave? Or a criminal?
Yeah, good luck with that one.
But hold on, you mean to say we might not be ruled by Clamar? What does that mean for us?
Right, I've said my piece. You know all I know. Now go forth, ladies and gents, and spread the word. Whether you're from our fair capital or the middle of nowhere, the crown's within your grasp. Anyone in the land could be our next king.
I heard the announcement. The Church has chosen to recognize this face's words as crown sent, and shall abide by them.
They conceded that one quickly. Though I suppose it's a hard thing to deny, what with the royal palace hanging up there in the clouds.
Had they rushed a coronation for His Eminence Forden, it would have dashed any hope of reinstating His Highness. A small comfort.
I can tell from your face there's some bad news, too.
Do you recall those chains that froze Alsace in place? It seems that, too, was part of His Majesty's magic. Plainly, any candidates of sufficient favor cannot be deposed by force.
Oh, cool. So that means we can all die in our sleep. Nice.
That's not good.
No, 'tis not indeed. This marks Luis as nigh untouchable.
And also Forden, but they can touch us.
I will still seek to find him. Yet, even should we stand before the man himself, we could not kill him.
Then what's the point of even finding him? All you're doing is making his life easier so he doesn't have to hunt you down.
No. If we can't kill him, then how do we break the curse?
Become king, then kill him? Or make his public favor so low that he is no longer protected?
What the hell was the king thinking? Grius was trying to save his son. He died for it.
Even so, without this magic, no aspirant would be safe from assassination, leaving Luis to dominate through sheer martial strength. We appear to be at an impasse.
Everyone, have you seen Maria?
Did something happen?
I checked her room and she isn't there. She wouldn't just leave without telling anyone. I couldn't deal with losing both of them.
I'll go look for her.
You will? Thank you. When I think of what might happen to her.
If she left her room on her own, she must have had some reason.
Let's go search for her. If we head into town, we might find some clues.
That kicked up quickly. From we can't kill Luis to Maria flees. Oh no. If I knew what part of the thing her room was on.
Whatever.
Oh, you mean that kid? Yeah, I saw her earlier. Shit. Stairs north. The stairs north of Sunshade Road. You know, the general store didn't look to be running an errand though.
Ridiculous. Oh, I'm in it now.
Actually, was that marker on the map before? I wonder if you could have just not talked to him and then get lost for days.
Hey, mister.
If the next king's gonna punish the bad tribes. You better run away, Elda. They're gonna kill you. Ah, casual racism.
Hey, listen. Sorry to handle this.
If you try to slap, it would break you. Oh my. Hello. I'm looking for a little girl. You see anyone around here? Oh, could it be that half-blood? If so, then yes, I did. She was muttering Papa and looking all sad. I saw her go through the back alley. So what, is she just sort of deranged? Is she just walking around aimlessly like she had a mental breakdown in RimWorld?
I'm out of ideas. I just can't believe it's true.
Mom had to come back. Dad said she would somewhere far away. I asked who's gonna cook dinner and Dad started crying. I don't know why. That was just kind of funny.
Oh, I'm in it now. This is all right. How did I wind up here?
Hello there.
Do you know that little half-blood? You can't let a girl like that walk the streets alone. You're just asking for trouble. She just went inside. Wait, you let her pass? Why? The way her eyes looked. I did not to be the one to stop her now. She's been coming to pray for a while, no matter how many glares she gets. Not surprised he cried. I hate cooking too. Yeah, I actually kind of like cooking. Mostly because it's...
Huh? Why?
Oh yeah, she's got that dead look in her face. You know something's wrong.
What are you doing here?
Papa hasn't come home. And I always come here whenever I'm feeling lonely. One time he came here to get me. I remember because he called my name. But I pray, and he still doesn't come back. Maybe because the cathedral's broken?
Maria.
If only you could be that funny.
Miss Fabienne says Papa can't come home anymore. But I know... Papa's gone away. He's gone somewhere I'll never see him again. Hasn't he? It's going to be so lonely. The loneliest it's ever been. But I have to be strong, don't I? But if it gets any lonelier, I don't know if I can do it.
I'm sorry. I promised we'd all come back together.
Why does everyone always leave? Mum was sick. The king and prince are gone. And now Papa? Why does everyone always leave? Is it my fault? I really did my best to be a good girl, but...
That's not why.
He's right, Maria. It's not your fault at all.
Listen to me, all right? Your father, he was fighting a very bad man.
That wasn't even the case. He was gonna kill a very bad man. And then because this isn't Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, he was denied his vengeance.
We were with him, but we couldn't protect him. I'm sorry.
I remember Papa saying something like that. He said, a really bad man might be our king. Is that part of it?
It's going to be all right. Don't worry.
I hope the next king is as nice as you. Then maybe things won't always be so sad.
In my ideal world, people can believe in their future. Their birth doesn't matter. The prince told me that once.
I think I understand the king's intentions now. Maybe this is the sort of tragedy he was trying to end. Maybe he wanted a world where the crown goes to one who acts like a king ought to. Not whoever's willing to spill the most blood to do it.
You may be right, but much as we wish it, this is not a fight that might be ended through words alone.
Even so, we have to try.
Maria, you're safe. Oh, you had me worried sick.
I'm sorry for leaving on my own.
No, it's all right.
Miss Fabienne, I'm hungry.
Maria. Yes, that's right. Let's all sit down for some supper together. Thank you for finding her.
It looks like she's worked things out.
She's a strong girl.
But we've more troubles ahead. How now do we resolve this curse upon His Highness?
If Luis is the curse's caster, we've got to kill him to dispel it. So how do we do that if he's shielded by the king himself?
I wish I could report back, but the prince is still asleep, and we're losing time. I don't think going back to the village is an option.
We cannot lose faith yet. There must be some further course we can pursue.
Well, there's the church's announcement. I expect they're trying to stop a wave of rival candidates from flooding the standings. I doubt the church would accept this popularity contest if they didn't already have a plan to game it.
True enough. I can only wonder at their aims. For today, we should content ourselves with rest and recovery.
Dollar store Narukami. True, but Narukami was also a Giga Chad.
Sorry, did I wake you? Laying here, I always end up caught in my own thoughts. Grius and Maria. The prince. Just thinking in circles again. Not good, is it?
I'm not awake at this. No.
Let's think about it together.
Keeping me company, are you? You really are a strange one. My kind of strange, if I'm honest. That book, is that the novel you're always carrying around? Feels like months ago now that I spotted you buried in it on the carriage ride to the fort.
Want to read it?
If you don't mind, since we've finally some room to breathe. Oh, interesting. It's written through the lens of a fictional land. This bit's about the Utopia's security. In this world, there is no blood-stained contest for sovereignty. The people choose their sovereign from among themselves. One cannot put a sovereign to the sword to seize power. Such an act would be met with scorn and judged as murder. Taking power or wealth by force is seen as the most shameful of transgressions.
Man, this utopia is nice. I want to live here.
Couldn't be further from reality, could it? We've a Kingslayer on the brink of seizing the throne right now. And this idea of competing for public support. Here it sounds so commonplace, but the idea's thrown us all into chaos. Interesting. Perhaps I'm overthinking, but it sounds almost like the aim of the king's magic. You suppose there's some common inspiration? Still, I don't imagine this would turn out well in the real world. In public opinion, tribal perspective always divides us. Besides, does a decision made by the people guarantee it's right? Tribal squabbles aren't always political. Take us Clamars, for example. It can be hard for us to see outside the bubble of our own worldview. We're the majority, and the tribe of the royal bloodline besides. That privilege can make us insensitive. A problem with no easy solution, I fear. Lofty words. I can hardly come to terms with my own ideals. Still, the discussions helped clear my head a little. Thank you. I've been so fixated on killing Luis, but maybe we could look into whether that's really the only way to lift the curse. Sleep should come easier now. I think I'll give it another chance. Wait, how long have you been asleep?
Oh my god, the MC fell asleep while he was monologuing.
The age of a new king draws nearer.
He was talking so much. Will just checked out.
Ladies and gents, have you heard the news? The curtain's about to rise on the show of a lifetime. To choose our new ruler, we're going to give all of you a chance to take center stage in a show of power for the whole kingdom. And we call it the Tournament for the Throne!
Totally not a scam who we have the week.
Our aspirants will set out on a grand tour of the three allied
he's
nations'
literally
capitals,
me.
taking part in a variety of exciting trials. First, we have the Exhibition of the Brave. Slay a monster plaguing our fair people and bring its head to Oceania's capital in time. Biggest find takes the win. Official word is, this event's open to all. So what do you think, ladies and gents? Are you in it to watch or in it to win?
How to weed out your competition. Get them murdered. Don't kill them yourself. Just get something bigger to kill them.
Why call us so early in the morning? What is that journal?
I had Fabienne bring it up. Something occurred to me, so I asked her to go through Grius' personal effects.
Hey, looks like he was investigating the curse too.
There's a note here. Given the spell's complexity, it must have required a scribed formula.
You mean to suggest Luis possesses a written composition of the curse somewhere? And if we can find that...
Yes! I'd wager, even if we can't kill Luis, we might still have a shot at breaking the curse.
But that attack took place years ago, didn't it? This curse's formula could be lost for good.
We have little choice but to hope it's not. I'm not saying it would be easy. And the real trick will be finding it. We wouldn't leave it unprotected.
That reminds me. A crier for the church was handing these out.
A flyer for the Tournament for the Throne. This popularity contest is state-sponsored now. An interesting gamble for those politicians. I like the bit about all this being in the interest of fairness, those weasels. But saying it's being organized by the state. The throne's empty. This smells like the theocracy at work. Probably Forden himself.
You think Forden's looking to fix the competition in his favor? He's been in first place this whole time.
Well, when you're at the top, the only place you can go is down. Unless there's nobody to stand before you.
In the interest of fairness, remember? If he wins a fair race, he gets legitimized, and Luis gets put on the back foot.
That bodes ill. Those with existing support could easily solidify their claim. Even should His Highness wake, he may lose the throne.
If we don't hurry and find a way to get close to Luis, we're sunk. What are we supposed to do?
We need a plan. Then we can take action. As an elder, I'm an outcast in this city. I think that gives us an advantage here. If they want to play games, we'll participate.
Let's enter this tournament for the throne.
Huh? Hey, were you even listening to us?
No.
Besides, the prince isn't exactly in a position to take part in...
Who the hell said anything about the prince?
Wait. It sounds crazy, but I think he might be onto something there. This could be just the excuse we need to get close to Luis. He doesn't care about your tribe so long as you prove capable, yes? That's what Zorba was saying. Which means, even though the world looks down on you as an elder, having the power to kill humans puts you in his good graces.
You're going to make him a candidate for the throne?
If all we need to do is get Luis's attention, then that's sure to get the job done. If we're lucky, he might even try to recruit us.
I see. An undercover operation, is it? Quite a gambit. But it may well be our best chance at finding this formula.
I don't know about undercover. The official artwork says otherwise.
Just hold on a second. Getting Luis's attention is all well and good. But remember who's actually risking their life here.
I mean, we're dead if we don't, and we might die if we do. And might is not guaranteed. Infiltrating Luis's wings would be dangerous. If I'm found out, I'm dead.
What do you think? Having heard all this, do you want to enter the running?
I just said yes.
Of course I do.
No hesitation at all.
Right.
I'm reminded of the words the prince spoke in youth.
In my ideal world, people can believe in their future. Their birth doesn't matter. No matter who someone is, they deserve a fair country. If it's to help achieve that, I will stand for the prince as a candidate for the throne.
Sheesh. So much for being a guide. Now you're the one leading me around.
Yes, now cast magic and help
Your
in
resolve
battle.
has marked you a fine fit for the role. I have trusted you with my life before, and would gladly do so again.
I inherited Greece's journal.
Good heavens. Haven't you put yourself in enough danger?
Nope.
Listen to me. I don't want you going down the same path he did. Are you really this set on running off again?
I have to carry on his legacy.
I see. Well, I'm sure he'd be glad to hear it. I'll be cheering for you in this mess of a competition. Truth be told, I wish I could do more than feed and shelter you.
What's the competition?
It's a big, grand race to see who will be the next king. The whole country will be watching.
So you're going to try and become king? Wow! Then I'll cheer for you as loud as I can.
You have your first advocate, it seems.
Suppose you'll have to actually try for the throne now, eh? Your Majesty.
I'll never actually succeed. Wow, way to put yourself down.
That was the plan from the start.
That's the spirit.
Well, if we want Luis to notice you, we'll have to make quite a stir among the people. Maybe reaching for the throne will do it.
Does that mean you're not coming back?
No, we'll be back. Although we might be a while.
I don't like when it gets lonely.
Maria.
But I'll be cheering for you. I hope you win the race. You'd be a good king.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Now, we'd best get registration out of the way, but we'll need some legs for the journey. It's mostly lawless wastes between cities.
Judging by this specified deadline, we're unlikely to reach the Principality of Oceana's capital in time on foot.
I bet all these fancy nobles have their own gauntlet runners to ride in.
A carriage might save our chances, if we could find one. Perhaps we split up for now. I'll leave you two to the registration. They should be taking entrance at the recruitment center.
Alright. Or I
This
could
should
just
be the place,
teleport it
right?
there, okay.
Excuse us, we're looking to join the tournament for the throne.
Aye? Bit young, ain't ya? And who's the kid? He with you?
Bit young, he's legal.
I'm the one entering.
You? Really?
I've not heard of any age restrictions. There a problem?
Well, I'd not have thought it, but you're an elder, ain't ya? And you want to be king. Well, the novelty of it might win you some looks.
Could you just do your job, please? Can he register or not?
Ah, an elder. Now that I think of it...
The music just stopped, I don't like that.
Weren't you in that pack of recruits that went off to the northern fort? Thought I heard they were all wiped out. What? We got a deserter turning up.
Explain?
No, they said he'd just dragged the company down, so they left him at the capital. He, got on the captain's bad side.
Why can't you tell him the truth and just say everybody else was murdered and they ran?
Could swear I've seen you before, too. Well, hardly matters with no captain to verify it with. Go on, then. You can represent the lesser tribes so nobody complains.
Whew. That was a close one.
And, obviously, you're gonna need a carriage. Otherwise, the whole thing's off for you. You're obligated to attend the opening ceremony tomorrow. It'll be at the plaza at the Grand Cathedral. Don't be late.
We'll have to hope Hulkenberg can find us a carriage.
As for us, I expect we should see about finding a monster to slay. If it's not impressive enough, Luis won't look twice at you.
Some postings over there. They should be offering bounties on monsters the guard can't handle. Let's take a look.
And here I thought Persona was story heavy. Sheesh.
Looks like everyone else had the same idea.
One of these bounties is bound to make me stand out.
But which? Bigger is probably better.
Hang on! There's nothing but small-time contracts here.
Are you lot here for this tournament then? Bit slow, I'm afraid. Most of my worthiest monster bills have already been snapped up by other competitors.
How about requests on anything aside from monsters? Bounties include criminals too, right?
I suppose I've got one of those, yeah.
Let's see.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Ugh, he's horrible. Heisme, a villainous kidnapper. Looks like the army's been trying to catch him for a while now.
This might just be perfect.
Whoa. You have any idea who that is? That man's an elite. An ex-royal knight, they say. He'd make short work of a scrawny little urchin. You can be sure of that. Besides, didn't you hear what it is they're actually looking for?
Oh, of course. It's about whoever can bring in the biggest monster head, right?
If you imbeciles can't even get that straight, you've no chance at winning. They want kingly types, not children play acting.
Bootleg Asterion?
Stuck up little... Is that the kind of competition we can expect?
Or shittier Digital Devil Saga?
He was right about the rules, though. What are you thinking?
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
We're supposed to get a monster's head. So why are you going for a criminal? Any idea what he's up to?
We don't need to win. Maybe he has a big head.
Maybe he just wants to stop the criminal's evil deeds.
We've got more important things to worry about.
Don't worry, I'll explain everything later.
As long as you can convince Hulkenberg, I guess.
Ho there! Are you really taking the bounty on Heisme? You three must be heaven sent. Please, would you listen to our plight? Your pardon, gentlemen. I'm Barden, a guard captain for Matira, a town to the south. The bounty on Heisme is up at my behest.
A guard captain? This fellow's made some powerful enemies.
We can't afford lenience. On top of his past crimes, Heisme has stooped to abducting our wee ones.
And there is no cannibalism.
If our city becomes known for nightly disappearances, what sane resident would stay? Community and trade will dwindle and die.
Well, to be fair, in Digital Devil Saga, instead of it being something like a persona awakening or your inner true self, you literally turned into a monster. Literally. A man-eating monster.
But he's just a lone kidnapper, right? Even if he's some infamous criminal, why can't the guard handle it?
That's the trouble. He makes his hideout somewhere too dangerous for our soldiers to tread. Deep in the territory of vicious giant worms.
Oh, hey, wasn't I there at the start?
We've no idea how he manages to operate out there without getting devoured himself.
Maybe he's a giant worm.
I see. Tricky problem indeed.
The Last of Us 2. He's like, yes, The Last of Us 2. Ouch! You dislike it that much?
I'd no choice but to swallow my pride and post a bounty. Yet no matter how many times I renew the bill, none have taken it. A pitiful sight, isn't it? A soldier who can't protect his home, whether by strength or by surrender. Laugh if you must.
Oh, come on. We're able to say I'm bad, but we can't say ha ha ha.
There's nothing pitiful about it.
You only cast away your honor in the name of protection. Nothing pitiful in that.
Thanks to you. That you'd accept such a perilous request, even with this tournament looming over everything. Closure. Thank you all, and thank God for bringing you to me. In that case, we shall meet in Matira, the old castle town. Please, make haste.
Well, no backing out of this now. You sure this is what we want?
Of course.
The way I see it, if we want to make a big impact this late, it's going to take some creativity. Besides, this is apparently a knight-turned-kidnapper. The man can't be allowed to go on.
I guess that's fair.
I'll convince Hulkenberg. Somehow. You go on and accept the contract.
Oi, oi.
Oh, what's a whippersnapper like you doing here? Don't tell me. Are you actually thinking of participating in Tournament of Thrones? The audacity of youth. Demo man. Why does his face look like it's poorly textured? That's rich. A mere fledgling, with no history or experience to speak of. As king, the idea makes me sick.
No, thank you.
The ideal leader of this country is a dignified man of a great age, one with years of experience, and yet upstart school children like you and Louis stare at you. Hardly matters. You won't be able to fight much longer, as to struggle all you like. I'd be happy to give your eulogy at the funeral. Yeah, I suppose the candidate too. Yeah, accept this bounty from me. You sure you can handle that? You won't be held liable if you get yourself killed out there. You're an odd one. Either that or just green. Head to Martira. Could probably get more information there.
Let's focus.
No deadline? I figured this one would have a time limit. Just like it need to find whose name and notorious criminal Martira. Despite his bounties, evade to capture, and his true identity is a mystery. Okay, because it's a bounty. So cool. Bounties are side quests. That's nice. They set bounty requests at the recruitment center. The targets are very powerful and you'll be rewarded in kind. So they're essentially punishing foes. Bounty requirements are added over time, so don't forget to check back.
Let's call it.
Oh, I'm an SMT fan. I am full of hate.
No registration issues, I trust?
No, indeed. And we found ourselves a perfect target.
Fine work.
Stroll.
See? She's convinced. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. I'll prepare a map of the surrounding areas as well. But never mind that. Have you found us a kingly carriage?
Well, I have made some arrangements. How best to put it? The vessel itself is without peer. Supposedly, it will come to us on the day of the opening ceremony.
Oh boy, they're gonna be rolling around in what was probably known in the fantasy times as a crapped out hoopty.
You don't sound too sure about that.
Hey, if she's lying, then we're gonna lie too. It's only fair.
No, I'm certain. All I mean to say is, well, you shall soon see for yourself.
Oh yeah, she's panicking that hard? No,
well,
it's not
the
good.
Circumstances, I'll take what we can get. And setting that up in a day. Not so bad having a knight on our side.
You needn't speak so. In truth, I've just resigned from the Knight's Order. Though 'tis only my bond of service I relinquish, not my title. We will shortly be seeking Luis's esteem. Should it come to light that I am a knight in active service, it may jeopardize our efforts.
Still, you didn't hesitate to leave. I can tell you're serious about this.
It was not an abrupt parting. I've come to doubt the Order since returning to find them serving the Santifex and not the Royals. Those who refused the Church's rule were cast out for their defiance.
Sounds like you've been through a lot too.
I do plan on playing SMT1, yes, but I didn't know the names actually meant something.
Well, in any case, we can focus on our bounty contract now.
Even
Let's
then,
make sure we get some proper rest tonight.
I usually try to go for canon names or just random names for the characters. Like in this case, in case anyone missed it, the main character is canonically known as Will, so I named him that. I do the same in Pokemon games as well.
Let's rest.
Can I do anything else tonight, or do I have to rest?
Now then.
Preparations seem to be proceeding without issue, apart from one massive overturn of certainty. Never mind, forget my mutterings. Just please do not be surprised, no matter what we're presented. Oh yeah, we're gonna be rolling around on a freaking cow manure
Don't push
cart.
yourself too much.
Tomorrow you depart, Maria will surely miss you, so please come and say hello to her whenever you can. Is Maria in in her... I didn't mean to do that! Is Maria in the room? Alright, no, I think she's probably outside or something. Ah, well. But I named that after my friends and it was weird. I know one of the alignment reps is a female, so that could be weird. Then again, SMT2 kind of goes against that by making, I think her name was Hiroko, unnameable. Which is probably for the best, considering her role in SMT2 and her relation to the main character, Aleph.
Can I come in?
Oh, there she is. There was no option. But what's the reason for you name... It makes it too... Oh, Reen? That's just something I came up with. Because he doesn't have a canon name, and I kind of just wanted to get into the game. Reen was just a name I came up with. It's not something I'm fond of, nor is it something that I use for multiple characters.
What's wrong?
Well, you're all leaving tomorrow, right? I'll be cheering for you. So I just... Oh no. I promised Miss Fabian I wouldn't cry.
Oh, it's all right. You don't have to worry.
Papa was trying to stop a bad man, you said. And that's what you're all doing too, isn't it? Please come back home safe. I'll be waiting here as long as it takes.
You could have named Hiroko? I don't recall that. I know you can name Beth and the other alignment reps, but... not the other alignment reps, the other characters, but... I don't recall getting the option to name Hiroko. His name is Kei? Amamura.
It's a promise.
Alright.
In the fortune teller
Promise?
place.
The next time I see you
Okay,
again,
well I didn't go to the
tell me
fortune
more
teller
about the
place, so I
outside
never
world.
got that option. I went to most all the other places.
This one's important.
Maria's waiting for us to return home and regale her with the tales of the strange and distant world. Oh, cool, I get food, so I gotta come back
I
sometime.
never got a chance to say this to Papa. So, thank you. I'll go to bed now.
I don't know if I'll ever play SMT2 again.
May I have a
Because that
moment?
game was kind of insane, and there's no way I'm gonna recreate the boss fight against God. Like, dude literally crashed my game. Not crashed my game. He stopped me from reviving demons, and then I died.
Before we set out. Since our meeting, I've done nothing but impose on you. Now, you risk your very life for this cause. 'Tis no easy burden. It pains me to see. When I think of how this may yet save His Highness, I lose sight of all else. Such disregard ill becomes me.
That's pretty good, Bailey.
You truly are devoted to him, aren't you?
I suppose I am at that. A guiding oath of 12 years is not easily cast aside.
I gotta say this, that face on Hulkenberg's character model? Kinda scary. Kinda unsettling.
We met once before, on a carriage bound for the capital. Do you recall?
You got me thrown out.
Now that you mention it, I do.
My apologies. I thought only to minimize casualties, one way or another.
Oh yeah, no. I used a guide playing SMT2.
Tis a novel envisioning an ideal world. Curious to see a utopian novel these days. I'd thought them long since banned.
Yeah, I used a guide to play SMT2. While I didn't spoil anything on the bosses, I intentionally skipped those parts. I did, however, go through the entire thing, because how the hell was I supposed to know to go to the junk shop in one of the Millennium areas to get a pillar? There's no hint!
You needn't worry. I've no intention of taking it from you. I've sometimes wondered why such books were forbidden. Rumors say the Sanctists objected to their contents. Yet I wonder, how could a simple book have possibly stunned them so?
I kinda got
Do you mind if I read a passage or two?
I got stuck in Kichijoji in SMT1. I don't know if that was just me being, well, dense, or I'm not sure. I might use a guide for that one, but I don't know.
As if a personal account.
If I get super
This
lost
chapter
again, I
seems to
will.
concern the system by which the nation's leader is decided. In this country, one cannot become even a statesman, much less sovereign, without the consent of the people.
Oh my god, yep, it's canon. In this fantasy book, Tao became the creator god and remade everything to where everyone's dreams and wishes came true.
Those who aspire to statecraft must first solemnly swear before the people what they will do in service of their country. Should they earn title but break their word, they are denounced and stripped of power. Such is the authority of the people.
Man, what a beautiful utopia. I'd want to live in a place like this.
In this way, it is the people who are the land's true king.
It's almost as if they're running a truest form of democracy.
Quite the opposite of our own country. Now I see why our upper echelons would abolish such texts. Had our lands embraced such accountability, perhaps His Royal Highness would not have suffered such a fate.
Perhaps he wouldn't even be His Royal Highness.
No. As a knight, it's not my place to say.
I thought you weren't a knight anymore.
I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream will do me no good.
You can't the word of the people who like Persona.
Oh, I suppose. 'Tis not so bad to dream now and then. It takes power to walk the path of our dearest hopes. Perhaps that is the purpose of this newfound strength.
Yeah, I actually do want to go back and play Persona 5. The reason that I stopped playing it originally was because, well, the mods broke the game, and then my antivirus stopped updating the mod installer.
My dearest dream. 'Tis to save His Highness, even at the cost of my life.
But I'm not going back to Persona while I'm doing this. That's too much dialogue for me to swim through.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws
Like, I remember
nearer.
Persona 4, I tried playing it again. Because it took me 90 minutes to get through the intro, I was just like, no thank you. Okay, game, I get where you're going. Now explain.
Juna! Lady Juna!
Okay, musical number? Was that the national anthem? Was that you, Narukami, in the background? Okay, so that just happened.
Even I'm feeling the heat. Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the inauguration of the Tournament for the Throne! For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's discuss the venues. We kick off in the west, in the Pearl of the Coast, the Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There, they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Altaberry Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown. Closest to the throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78th Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden!
Victory to Sanctifex Forden!
SMTV models really were updated, holy hell. Yeah!
I claim no great ambition.
So it's probably because of the art style. That game went for a more realistic approach.
Is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
I get a feeling they're gonna see Will and be like, who the hell is this scrub?
His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Giddo!
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence. I relinquish the throne to him gladly. But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctis have in this race?
Yes.
Still, it's not over by far. The Luis supporters won't take this lying down.
What cowardice, Friar! Where's Count Louise?
Right, all right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
What? He's not even entering?
Then what becomes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon.
All right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound!
Him? So he was one of Luis's men?
The fallen king embraced Sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
This cutscene's gonna shut it off like the Lilith cutscene at SMT5.
It's not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions.
Yeah.
The great liberal merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Kraus. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow. If we lose this, I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have
She
one
can't even
final
look.
candidate.
Oh god,
Do
they're
we have
gonna
an
boo the
Elden Boy
hell.
present? Come on, let's see a face.
They're gonna boo him off the stage. I'm waiting for this.
What? An elder? Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
I know it, they're booing him off stage.
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. Alright?
Oh, hate you too.
What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
So, contestants, are you ready?
I'm guessing that's the run.
Lost, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
A land runner?
It's quick! Wait, it's headed right for the...
It'll crash! Whoa!
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What ho? Isn't she a marvel, chums?
You don't! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you fool. It was bad enough when Luis did it the first time.
That feckless, shameless old fool.
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all.
Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
We must take to the road.
Come on, come on! So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
Damn, he gained 400 popularity. Not bad. Ended up standing out more than I expected. I've gained a lot of interest, but I only consider this a part of my mission to aid the prince. Yeah, dude, you're like rank 8,000.
Just a sec.
Whoa, what's with this thing? Is this our carriage?
Can you hear me?
Shall I just run her along the main road then? The others seem to be doing as much. You're just as crazy as the runner. I'll take that as a compliment, little lady. Now, let's have some coordinates for a little test run. What is happening right now? We gotta go to a place called Martia. Old Castletown, I think. Should be ways south. Guessing those would be rest areas. No, we don't need to rest. Let's just head straight there. Martier. On this crash slice, I'd say we'll be there in about 4 days and 3 nights, so we'll arrive on night 4. Okay. 4 days and 3 nights. That's a great deal faster than the carriage. It's surely the roads will be safer at this speed.
Spectacular.
Volley, good. Now, kitch those britches, chaps. Full steam ahead. Martio, Castletown. Alright, so I should probably concede this. I gotta get off at 2 o'clock because I need to go to sleep for my job.
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft. I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me, lad? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you use to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Nuris. An Ishkia, if it was not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable.
Noble District Underhaul.
Nuris? Are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
Too much to do.
As always. To business then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Nuris, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Good lord, where'd that stick come from?
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady. But leave the Balliol runner alone.
Look, this runner... it is fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate. For both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness, Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
Nope. Oh boy, I zoned out there.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
Not that Final Fantasy 5 was story
I
heavy.
know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
I think a black Cid is actually a pretty cool design. If we die, we die together.
I think we can count on him. If you're sure, I suppose. We'll deal with it if we have to.
Thanks,
Either
I'm gonna
way,
be leaving
he
a little
knows the
bit
prince
too,
is alive,
like 2ish
so
o'clock.
we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all
Have a
in the
good
same
one,
boat.
Disco.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Rhylehaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
Oh Jesus, they didn't say that part.
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Well, wouldn't a monster wouldn't a human or whatever that kidnaps people be, I don't know, a monster?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely.
Doesn't matter if the populace
Then
votes for
again,
us.
'Tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent. What do you think of this plan?
It's perfect. It's impossible. I trust all of you. Yeah, sure, let's be the naive man.
I trust all of you completely.
Good enough for me. A captain's got to trust his crew, after all. The bounty's Heismay, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet... 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
Now, funny how they refer to men as man, even though man is derived from the word human, which are the demons in this world.
Our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the gauntlet runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose.
What do you mean? He sounds cool as hell. Is it because his outlook on life isn't that bad? Gauntlet Runner. The Gauntlet Runner has various areas for different activities such as the strategy room, a lounge, and a kitchen. You can also visit Academia by finding more and interacting with him. Let's visit the engine room first. Take your time, let look around.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna go around. I kind of want to see what the engine room looks like. Yeah, not as comfortable as an airship, I suppose. Beds are pretty small. Yeah, they look like prison beds. My goodness. Okay, you can't sprint well inside.
Oh.
There's some bit of meat and red grass. I wonder who left them here. Could use them for cooking. Sitting on. It's locked tightly to prevent accidental entry. Okay, so the backgrounds at least look nice outside. Kitchen.
Got it.
Let them cook. Oh, I guess I can't cook. Well, this dining area looks pretty nice. Well, now it looks more insane now that I'm looking at it from the outside. Alright then, let's see, downstairs, or down the slide actually, there's more. The wash machine that does laundry, handmade, but it receives, there's nothing in here at the moment. Alright, let's speak to him.
This?
Wonder what makes this thing red. That looks like a literal beating heart.
Hello?
First time in a Gauntlet Runner, eh? Oh, that scared me. Looks like the pipe's in here too. Call the rudder phone. There's one in every room.
Spectacular.
Now, I believe I heard you speculating on the old girl's inner workings. Gauntlet Runners use magma crystals as fuel to run, you see. Used to be you take your life in your hands when you traveled the wilds. Then, thanks to the Kingdom's greatest minds, the Gauntlet Runner was born. The runner's actual legs are based on colossal beast, made for zero momentum loss, even on the roughest terrain. Among other things, I've modified the craft with a bit more zipping speed, another step closer to my dream. What dream? Long story, my girl. That's told to a captive audience with no plans for the next few days and nights. Never mind it. Maybe some other time. Anyway, still plenty about the old girl. That's a work in progress, but by the time I'm done, she'll have some new tricks. Just you. One of them better be flying. One of them better be flying. It's a fantasy game. We need an airship. It'll be sunset before long, so start thinking about bedding down for the night. Can't run in the dark, and the old girl needs her rest too. Gauntlet Runner activities. You will continue towards your destination while spending time on a Gauntlet Runner. Utilize its facilities to obtain items, raise abilities, or do other things you wouldn't be able to do in town. Try using the kitchen, reading books at the shelf, or using the washing machine. More activities will become available over time. You can also spend time with your allies while traveling, which may improve your virtues. At the end of the day, this is your choice. I still can't believe there's a beating heart that runs this thing. What the hell is this? Clean?
Come on.
This weird tool is actually a cleaning igniter that Nars modified to create wind that collects dust. Pretty nifty. I know it's hard, but all the lifting and bending stress. By using the vacuum cleaner, you'll increase your max HP. Okay. If only that happened in real life. Use a vacuum cleaner, get healthier.
Speaking of...
Said he got the kitchen up and running. If you're hungry, would you fancy a meal? I really consider myself a chef of any great skill, but Joe said he wanted to try some of the recipes he learned at the Hushed Honeybee. Is he asleep? I feel drunk.
Sorry.
I'll survive. I can handle the swaying of a carriage, but it's another beast. Seems I'll need later. Oh god, so he's got motion sickness. Or not motion sickness, car sickness. Call the runner's cookie table to whip up some food for you and your allies. Eating prepared meals can grant your party various positive effects. To cook, you need ingredients. Buy them, with them, buy them lying. Yeah, find them lying on the ground. That sounds nice. Try to experiment as much as possible. After you've made every dish at least once, you'll learn how to create the ultimate culinary masterpiece. There are some ingredients here. Maybe an nurses would shop it. My god, that's a lot. Okay, yeah, that's a lot. Whose handwriting is this? There are notes here on potential recipes. Red grass roasted, Bordeaux, curry, colony stew recipe. Fish, critical meatballs, dreadfast stew, precision, stale. Want to make something? If so, we should try have everyone teach us some culinary specialties. Let them cook! I can't make steadfast stew, of course. Allows one ally to endure a fatal attack. Well, that's kind of broken. Poison, because why not?
Let's check.
Let them cook. That's the dish Stroll wanted to try. Wait here, I'll go get him.
Now then.
For as often as we simply refer to our meals as meat, something to keep in mind is where it's cut from. The taste and texture could change dramatically, you know? Each type of cut has an ideal preparation, and if you do it well, it turns out tender and delicious. Something to strive for, wouldn't you say? So what kind of cut do we have here? But never you mind. Just leave this to me. Watch your meat and adjust the heat so it goes. Although, it depends on what your preference is, really. It's nearly time. No, it is time. Strike now.
Alright.
Let this man cook. Yes, not bad so far. See the juices there? There's your proof this is turning out delicious. We'll add a little something for the aroma and we're done. But just a little or it'll overshadow the flavor. Amazing, Stroll and I made a delicious looking dish cooked to perfection. It's curative corn and roast. It smells great, doesn't it? Now imagine how it tastes. Joel and I cleaned up the kitchen. Time really flew.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon, and the curtain of night falls over the land. Protected within the stalwart hull of the Gauntlet Runner, the party gains a short, peaceful respite.
Establishing an encampment. At night, the vast wilderness outside of town is encroached in darkness. Forcing your way through the unmarked terrain is very dangerous, even with a stalwart Gauntlet Runner. Instead, establish camp somewhere safe. You could resume your travels the next morning. While at an encampment, you could use any of your facilities on the Gauntlet Runner like usual, but you can also reminisce about the journey with your allies. Give it a try. 3 days until we meet Mitra. Our first time camping on a Gauntlet Runner. Kinda excited, but it'll be a long night, so why not spend some time relaxing with someone? Can you not say it like that? Funny how something like this is considered more practical than, I don't know, an airship? It looks cool, but still. There are insects gathering by the campfire. Oh, apparently you could eat these bugs. Well, according to Hulkenberg, anyway. Do I want to know? I should try to catch one. I caught one of those bugs gathered by the campfire. When it's my turn to cook, I should use it as an ingredient.
Your thoughts?
Ho! How was the ride? So who's better, eh? Luxurious as a palace, awe-inspiring, tear-jerking? This runner's such a guilty pleasure. Though credit where it's due, my tinkering certainly helped make her what she is. Though full disclosure, that's all thanks to a little mechanism I whipped together that keeps her legs from sinking into the dunes. Wouldn't have to worry about the terrain if she could just fly, but that's a story for another day. Off you go. Better you get your 40 winks.
Hey.
Hey, you looking for something to do? My weapons are as sharp as they're gonna get, and I'm not up to much. Care to keep me company for a while? Recalling on my past, I could boost my imagination. Alright.
Now then.
So next up is Martyra. It also feels like just yesterday when I was first arriving in the royal capital. So much has happened in such a short span of time. I met you, went over to another fortress, and awakened a mysterious power. I'd once thought magic like that was only in the heroic tales of times past.
Speaking of,
I've been thinking that perhaps this is the same power that the hero kings once used. If that's the case, then why do you think so many of them have met miserable ends? Powers and everything, no allies, they lost to agree to.
What's that about?
Oh, I see.
I see. As kings, they had to govern their people and maintain the peace. Martial might alone wouldn't be enough. When interacting with a follower or ally and giving them a response that moves their heart, you may obtain magnetite, which you can usually only acquire in battle. Try to be as open and receptive as possible to your followers' feelings when communicating with them. Perhaps it's no matter of how much power you have, but how you use it. Moreover, we've got more than one power at our disposal, and on top of that, we've got allies who share these abilities as well. If we continue to master these archetypes, then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to surpass the great hero kings of old. Though all this does make me wonder just how many more of these powers are still out there. I felt my imagination grow as Stroll discussed the challenges ahead of us.
Alright.
Now come, it's too early for bed. Let's talk some more. Stroll and I talked for a while.
Time marches
Where'd the money
on,
come from?
And the age of a new king draws nearer.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, my dear passengers. I trust that sleeping quarters more than exceeded your expectations.
True.
They were better than I had feared, considering how tiny they were. But I got my question. Isn't the desert sand going to do a number on these runners? Nah, boy, remember who maintains this rugged girl. Nary a grain of sand could fit between her seams, I assure you. Regardless, we'll be having these arid dunes behind tomorrow.
I knew it!
Well, runners really are neat, aren't they? A carriage would never be able to make it through a desert that fast. But, just keeping an eye on the road. Just keep it on, okay, Norris? Arrive in 2 days. Insight and... what the heck is that? Oh, courage. Craven? You know, you mean coward. Oh boy, I think all that dialogue is tired me out. Okay, so I'm actually gonna call it here. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I really appreciate you. The story is interesting, but it's kind of got the same issue as Persona to me, where it just takes a little bit too long to actually get to the good stuff. It just like goes on and on. I know it's trying to set up the world and everything, but honestly, it gets kind of tiring. I mean, the only combat encounter that we had was the first two at the very start. But I guess this is what I'm going to call it today. I will post my next upcoming stream. I'm still debating if I'm going to do another round of Shin Megami Tensei just to clear the boredom or push this game forward a little more. I'll have to see because my work schedule is going to be pretty tight. And then tomorrow, my demon build video for Shin Megami Tensei 5 will be out at 12 o'clock noon Pacific time, so be sure to check that out. It's a scripted video. It's going to be my first one, and I'm kind of excited for it to come out. I feel like I did a pretty decent job of editing it together and writing out the script. Anyway, that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you for tuning in, and if you're not subscribed, also thank you for tuning in. This has been ReFantazio, and I will see you guys next time.